coming here today for this, the famous unveiling and perhaps the naming of objects behind us here. But I have to tell you how this came to be first. And it all came from actually John and Felicity are the inspiration. It's going to be a long story. What happened was one Christmas a couple of years ago, John and I picked out what we thought was a lovely Christmas present for John and Felicity.
We'll show you later.
These two lovely gnomes. See these gnomes here? And they opened them up, and it was immediately apparent that they hated the gnomes. In fact, they hated them so much they left them for us. And so we thought, oh, well, we really need somewhere to present these gnomes. And so we looked around, and at the time we had this desk that was these cement slabs with soup cans imprinted in them. And we thought, well, you know, we need something a little better than this. We need some sort of improvement on our waterfront. So we started looking around for inspiration. And, you know, there were the ramparts that the Martins had put in a couple of doors down, and we thought, well, they've already done that because we don't have any cannons. We can't really do that. And then we noticed that Elizabeth Musgrove had put in this fabulous deck, which is just over there. You may not be able to see it, but it was a fabulous deck. So we went to Elizabeth and said, Elizabeth, who did you get to do this deck? And she said, well, I got my son-in-law, Ian, to do it. So we went to Ian, and there he is right there. And we were Ian. And Ian did this fabulous job of finding deck around these two fabulous poplar trees that we had during the time. Ian did, you know, an entire summer designing deck around these poplar trees, which then immediately died. So we thought, okay, well, now what do we do? So we retained the services of an arborist by the name of Doug Story. And Doug, I don't think is here, is he? Anyway, we retained an arborist by the name of Doug Story. And he cut the trees down, and he cut them down, left them maybe 12 feet tall. So last summer we had for the entire summer these two poplar trees that were 12 feet tall. And that inspired all kinds of suggestions as to what we should do with these two poplar trees. We had Will McDowell who suggested that we should create a giant slingshot.
Oh,
we could, you know, and then there was this suggestion we should put a hammock between them, etc., etc. But Fran said, no, we need art. We need art. And so, of course, as with everything else, we go to Brian and Ann. Whenever we don't know what to do, we go to Brian and Ann. I mean, Brian designed our cottage, so Fran thinks that he should, therefore, know the answer to every question that we ever have.
or he'll make it up.
So we went to Brian and Ann said, well, there's only one person I know who, as an artist, works with pieces of wood, and that's John Castle. And where is John? There he is. There he is. So we engaged John to do something with these two trees that had been cut down. And John came over, and he came over with his books, various books that he brought with him for ideas. And of course he thought we were not his friends. Then he came up with what we think are fabulous renderings of these two trees, which perhaps we can now, Sarah, Alex, whoever is going to cut the ribbon.
You're supposed to cut the ribbon. Right behind.
Scissors, right
there.
there.
I'm not going to do the talking.
Okay, Fran.
Don't give Liz anything sharp.
No.
What happens when I cut them?
shot. Yeah. Very little will happen. That's great.
Let him again
Now.
not let him fly away.
Stage 2.
Fly away.
Right. Bravo. Bravo. Bravo.
So there they are. Aren't they wonderful?
They are.
So, they were inspired by Picasso, right? They're showing these little tiny pictures of Picasso sculptures that he worked with. And so there he is with his various chainsaws. and he created this and it's two poplar trees, which I think is absolutely amazing. So, so then of course that led to some discussion as to what they should be named. And this is still a work in progress, and we would certainly appreciate any thoughts that people might have on this. Let me review some of the possibilities. Brian Clark thinks they should be called the Sirens of Westlake.
Here, here.
I
like that.
Yeah.
Our daughter Virginia and the bartender, wherever she is, there, thinks they should be called Andromeda and Cassiopeia. Then there's the township, Sophia and Amelia.
Oh!
And Minerva. Well, this is you want to do Then there's Bill and Secret Musgrove, who couldn't be here today, who think they should be called Mona and Lisa.
I like that.
Eleanor Martin,
I like that.
her suggestion is Pride and Prejudice, which leaves, of course, the Sense and Sensibility. There isn't much of that around here. And then there was a suggestion of Beverly and Bertha, who were the first women on the Supreme Court of Canada. And then there's Bob Sharp, who hasn't yet given us a suggestion, but there are, from your book, perhaps there are some names there. Then there's Lucy and Ethel. That was John, I think. Fran thinks they should be called Fran and Liz. Anne thinks they should
But they can't agree which is which.
Well, one's Ruby and one's Turkey.
Yeah.
Then there's Anne, who thinks that they should be called Minerva and Athena. And Liz Stewart thinks they should be called Thelma and Louise. And then there's my ideas, which are Law and Order, Rock and Roll, my favorite, which is A Rock and a Hard Place. Or Two Sheets to Win. Anyways, those are the various suggestions, and we welcome any suggestions that anybody else may have. And
Truth and justice. Oh, 4 and all.
Anyway,
That's pretty unlikely.
thank you all for coming, and thank you particularly for the Musgroves who tolerated 5 days of chainsaw. Not such she and Susie came there to see what in Earth was making. How can somebody be cutting down a tree for fun?
Yes.
Anyways, thank you very much.